Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it.
She still had a husband.
Yeah, she was married before we got married.
No, what I mean is she never unmarried her husband, Victor Villanueva. They were never divorced.
Okay, pero why does that matter? Vida was a widow.
Eddie, from what I dug up, the husband is still alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest today is a performer and a writer. Born in Venezuela, she was raised between New Jersey and North Kakalaki, North Carolina. As a performer, she has received a Stage Row Award for female comedy performance and many, many other awards. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Anna Lamadrid. Anna, welcome, welcome, welcome. And thank you very much for being here today. First of all, I see that you are a graduate of the University of Washington. You got an MFA there, MFA?
Yes.
Oh, I love me some. We call it UW. We love it.
UW.
UW. I mean, I used to be up there. I was in the Navy station up there. I remember when the Blue Angels would go by in the Seafair and this and that. Great place to go if people have never been. If you like fishing, you like rain, Seattle's the place to go.
All of that stuff, yeah.
Indeed, indeed. I see you also studied Meisner in New York City with renowned teacher Maggie Flanagan.
Yeah, she's an incredible force and a treasure to acting foundation in this country.
Indeed.
I'm so grateful that I got to study with her.
What made you make that decision for her versus other? Because as you know, there's 8 different styles.
Yeah, I am kind of a believer in that things come into your life for a specific reason, and you kind of have to like open yourself up to those signs. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia. I was working for Cartoon Network. I had a very corporate life, but I always wanted to be an artist. And Maggie came into my life 3 times from 3 different people in Atlanta that weren't connected. And I just kept hearing that name. And I was like, I think, the universe is telling me something and I need to pursue it. So I initially got Cartoon Network to transfer me out to New York so that I could study with her. But then I was like fully committed and I'm like, no, this is the path that I'm going to follow.
Wow. Well, glad you did.
Yeah.
We can see it in the way that you get up on that stage. Indeed. That's why we tell folks, I teach myself, folks who want to be an actor, get some, I call it edumacation, and do it. Make sure you get it, because the competition is tough out there. You know that and I know it.
Oh, absolutely. It's, if you want longevity in this industry, you have to be able to continually deliver and to develop those skills.
Yes, ma'am. Indeed, indeed. Year was 2002, and according to IMDb, you got your first IMDb credit for the sci-fi comedy movie Cult Vision: Collapsing Stars. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. That was a very long time ago. A very shoestring budget, which was a lot of fun, but I had no idea what I was doing because I hadn't really fully committed to getting that education,
Yes.
So, yeah, we all got to start somewhere.
Exactly. And that's the whole idea about being an actor and an actress. And I admire each and every one of you because the changes that you go through, up, down, up, down, up, down, but constantly moving up. That's the deal. Constantly moving up. To become a good actor or actresses. As you know, by the way, Oscars came out, the Nets came out.
Yeah, I saw that.
You have saw it?
Oh yeah, I saw the announcement.
Oh yeah, who's the big nominated this year?
The big thing right now is that there's 2 female directors that are nominated for Best Director, which hasn't happened in a very long time.
2 women? 2 women? Did you say? The Chinese lady? Has she been nominated?
Yeah, for Nomadland. And
yes,
then,
all right. She's won everything. She'll probably win this one. She's won everything.
Yeah.
Good to see that. A couple of years later, you got a chance to do a well-known soap opera, The Guiding Light.
Yeah, that was a really fun recurring that they would bring me back. And It was just fun to play a coffee shop waitress, and in real life, I actually worked at a coffee shop in Brooklyn, so it was very meta. I could really do like the fake business on screen because I was doing it in real life. So, I'm also a believer that everything, all of your experience can be folded into your art in some way. Like who would have thunk that me being a barista in Brooklyn would have paid off?
Brooklyn's very interesting. For those that don't know, have never been there, Brooklyn is a very exciting part of Manhattan. The whole.
Well, it's outside. Yeah, it's not in Manhattan.
Yes,
No,
yes.
yeah.
Correct me, please, because I hate to
you
have
got to
phone
get
calls.
the subway. You got to go over, underneath water.
Yes.
It's neighboring.
Whew, I can just see Brooklyn Nights. Yeah, where's that sucker? Let me bust him upside the head. Yeah. Get it straight there, Brewington. Get it straight there. Then in 2013, my dear, you became known as a bilingual actress for your role as a sassy, outspoken hostess by the name of Abby Diaz in the comedy film PX This. Roll it, Tony.
Please hold. Is Anna getting fired?
What? Why do you say that?
Louise is on a rampage and Anna looks nervous. It's like the running of the bulls around here.
Did you see that?
Oh, I heard. It's craziness.
ATN is going to freak out.
It's like the best day ever.
Hey, you look good. That was a front view and a side view. Had your head turned. That was nice. Get a chance to see what that looks like. That was a good. Please tell me a little bit. There's a story here. Tell us about that story with this movie.
Well, it's actually my first web series. It was developed by the woman named Abby Diaz, who used to be a hostess for a Jean-Georges restaurant, which I don't know if you're familiar with Jean-Georges, but he has an empire in New York City restaurants that are really like high-end culinary experiences. And so it was a kind of like a comedic look at all of behind the scene dramas that happen in the restaurant world. And oddly enough, when I first moved to New York, I worked at a Jean-Georges restaurant taking orders and reservations for one of his restaurants. So I knew that world well. We would have Madonna coming into our restaurant, but I was stuck in the dungeon downstairs because I hadn't been promoted to hostess yet. So again, see, you use all of your life experience and it comes right back around and you get to present it to the world in art.
Wow, amazing. That is amazing. I should have mentioned to you that I was born and raised in New York City. I forgot to say that.
How do you not know Brooklyn?
That's what I'm talking about. And shame on me.
Shame on you. How you born and raised and you forgot your
see what
roots?
I'm doing? I'm holding my head down. You see that? Brewington had a bad day. In fact, when I joined the Navy, they sent me to Floyd Bennett Field at the end of Flatbush Avenue. So I knew Brooklyn, yes.
Okay. There you go. It's all good. Yeah. It's all good.
It's all good. Beat me, spank me, make me write a bad check. I see you got a short film this year. Ubuntu.
Ubuntu was actually shot, oh my gosh, before quarantine. It was a small short film that was developed. And my friend Michael Masalam is doing a lot to promote Muslim American stories. So it's about a young boy who's Muslim in a basketball team, and I got to play one of the moms of another basketball player. So, I'm really excited to support diversity in storytelling and to lend my talents to those kind of stories.
Excellent. Keep it coming. Now, let's talk about another side of you, a performer. What got you into that line of work?
I think, well, being an immigrant, I was born in Venezuela. I came to the US when I was 8. And, there's always a sense of kind of being an outsider and like not quite fitting in anywhere that you go.
Okay.
And for me, art just felt like home, because the stories that we tell are so universal and you can connect to like what a character is going through. And I found the community really welcoming and, it's just what I've always wanted to do.
So, for those that don't know, exactly what is it that you do?
I do a lot of things.
I know. They don't know it. Yes.
I am an actor. I'm a working actor. I'm constantly auditioning. I also am an audition coach and a self-tape coach. And I've started an online platform to teach actors the technology, the craft, and the business of acting. It's called The New Triple Threat, and we're open for membership right now. We're trying to create a space for actors to learn about what it takes to actually be in this business, because I feel like there's a huge gap between what they teach me in grad school or even what I learned at Maggie Flanagan. You know, the foundations of acting doesn't change, but the business and what it takes to actually work in this business, trends are constantly shifting. And, you know, now with quarantine and self tapes, you know, you got to make your lighting look good. You got to understand. And a lot of actors tend to be tech phobic. We're just really excited to make sure that people get access to this information, especially actors of color, you know, who are often priced out of training because they can't afford, you know, $350 for an audition class every month.
Got you. You got a telephone number or website?
TheNewTripleThreat.com.
No telephone number yet?
This is all online. We in the future now, boo. We in the future. Don't call me. Don't call me.
All right. Bad on bad. Uh-oh. Annie, too much. Too much. How many characters have you done?
A lot. I can't count. It's been a lot, you know, in the combination of theater and like 3 years of grad school and the small TV stuff that I've done. I mean, certainly a lot.
Yes.
You know, playing as a little kid, when you know, role play as a little child with your imagination. I was playing characters back then.
Sounds good. Sounds good. You certainly are good at what you do, my dear. Just a few. I see you get a few awards, huh? A few awards. You've had that? Yeah.
Yeah. I was the very first show that I did here in LA on stage was called Collective Rage. I played in 5 booths at the Boston Court Theater, and I was nominated for a Stage Raw Award, which I did not expect to win, but it was such an incredible opportunity to get introduced into the LA theater community in that way.
Are you ready for the big award? The big award. They call him Oscar. Are you ready for him?
You know, now that I understand the business side of acting, I understand that there's so much more to just talent when it comes to the Oscars. So I take all of that stuff with a grain of salt, because there's just so much more campaigning that's happening. But to be recognized for your work, of course, is wonderful. And you know, I don't focus on awards. I focus on the work.
Have you ever thought about being a director?
Oh, 1000%. I mean, with my coaching, when I coach actors, I'm directing them pretty much. So I do think that that is something definitely in my future as I continue to grow as an artist. You know, I had wrote a short feature, like not a feature, but a short that I was hoping to film, and then COVID happened. So, you know, it's a good time to like pause and, you know, reflect. And, you know, when we're ready, I will shoot it for sure and direct it.
Got you. Speaking of awards, did you see the Grammys last night?
I did not. I did not see the Grammys, although I have been seeing some of the videos of the playback of the performances. But, you know, it's interesting. You kind of like pick your lane, and I feel like music comes to me through my experiences with other people. But like, I'm so into TV and film that I watched documentaries last night.
Okay, hey, no problem, because it was hot. I'm not going to go into great details, but it was hot. Cardi B
I'm
was
sure
on that.
Yeah, I saw a little clip of that, so
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Woo! Wow, I thought they was going to put a sign up there. Take it down. You know, oh well. Beyonce picked up her 28th Grammy Award for her career, and of course, that's a record. Taylor Swift, she got her 4th Album of the Year, so it's good. Good to see how things are happening in other fields. Back to your performances, ma'am. Remember the first time that you stepped on a stage?
It was in high school.
All right. What did it feel like?
We did Dracula in high school.
Good.
Imagine that. And I played Mina, who was, you know, Dracula's love interest. And to this day, it is the funniest amazing moment in theater, and that's why I love theater so much, because accidents can and will happen, and it's like how you like save that moment.
Yes.
But the guy who was playing Renfield was being really wild on stage, and he hit one of the flats, and the house, like the flat, started coming down, and the guy who played Harker or something like grabbed it and put it back up, and he just improvised. He was like, things are so crazy, even our house is falling apart. And I mean, I was just like, I'm hooked. This is what I want to do.
Got you. Like I said before we started the show, that I have a bone to pick with a lot of actors and actresses because they won't get up on that stage. They'll do television, they'll do film, they want to be a star, but they won't get up on that stage.
I mean, it's definitely scary, but I tell all of my students, if you really want to develop your instrument,
yes,
giving yourself the challenge of getting on stage is definitely the place where you can be the most creative, because
right,
being on TV and film is really, really technical, and you don't get to be as free, and you don't really get to feel the character arc. So
right.
theater is where that happens.
Got you. Because the audience, they can be very kind or they can be rotten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Opinions are opinions.
Right, but they pay for their money, so they figure you're gonna hear it.
Hey, that's true, but hey, you already paid the money, right?
Right. We got the money now.
Don't worry about it. Whether you like it or not, that's not my job.
Right. Besides being a performer, you're also a writer. Tell us about it.
Well, this is the first time that I've actually written a full-length thing. This piece came from a 15-minute exploration that was an assignment when I was at UW, my second year. And I was just thinking about how biology is interrupting, like technology is interrupting our biology when it comes to dating. That's what I was exploring.
Yes.
And when we had to pivot our season with IAMA, because we had a whole season planned out and then COVID happened, the artistic director, Stephanie Black, wanted to do a virtual solo show season and was looking for artists. And I just like randomly said, well, I have a 15-minute thing I did from grad school. It's not a big deal. And she was like, well, let me look at it. And I was like, all right. And then she was like, no, you need to expand this. And so there was that challenge that made me actually put pen to paper, or keys, fingers to keys, and start typing.
I was going to ask you about writer's block, but the other thing that I would like to ask you about was getting ideas. That's a favorite word of mine. Everything begins with an idea. How do you get your ideas for play?
Well, again, it was just me reading articles and talking to my friends, and I heard about oxytocin for the first time back then, and I was like, oh, so like every time we're intimate with a partner, we become attached, even when we say we don't want to, right? Because we can't control our biology. So you could be like, oh, I'm just hooking up with this person, and then 2 months later, you're like, why isn't he calling me? And it's like, well, what do you expect? Your biology is like betraying you. And so that's why I wanted to write about it. And now I thought, well, oxytocin has been taken away from all of us because we're in quarantine. We're not seeing anybody. We're not touching anybody. What happens when you're in a state of withdrawal? And I did a lot of research, and scientifically, like, touch is really crucial to our existence. So the loneliness and the depression that's happening right now as a collective was a space that I wanted to explore.
I like the way
with a comedic way, because let's laugh at it a little bit.
Yeah, gotta have a laugh. Yeah, it's a smile, So let's get this right. You are a member of IAMA?
IAMA. Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that, please.
IAMA Theater has been around in LA for over 10 years. It was started by a group of NYU students who came to LA, and, again, in their pursuit of a TV and film career, were really missing an artistic home. And so they created IAMA Theater. They have been at the forefront of creating new works. Leslie Headland, who I don't know if you know who she is, but she wrote and executive produced Russian Doll, which is a huge Netflix show. She came out of that group and wrote the first 7 plays that IAMA ever produced for them. So it has a really great legacy, and I was just so grateful that they invited me to be a member.
Got you. When I see IAMA persons, there's 2 things that I see in them: pride and more pride. And they do very good work indeed.
Thank you.
I understand that, let's see, that you got a play now. It's called the Oxy Complex?
Yes.
Tell us about it, please.
well, that was the piece that I wrote in grad school that is now a full length show. So it takes place on the 500th day of quarantine. When I started to write it, I did not think that we would be there, but it looks like we might. So it's prophetic in some ways. And you know, it's dealing with a woman who is going through withdrawal, who's really lonely, who has really been quarantining, and you're kind of left with your thoughts, and her thoughts lead her to the past. And you know, she's looking to heal her past in order so that she can be present in the future, and you know, hopefully find partnership or find peace with herself.
Got you. Now, I understand this is the fourth offering of the 2021 season.
Yeah, we started with Tom DeTrinis's show, who you interviewed, Making Friends, and then we did a show in collaboration with Woolly Mammoth Theater in DC called Hi, Are You Single by Ryan Haddad, and Sheila and I's is next, and then it'll finish with Brandon Kyle Goodman's Latrell show that Stephanie, our artistic director, will be directing. So it's really exciting, diverse voices that we are giving them a space to kind of share their work.
Got you. Now, who's the director on this project?
Michelle Bossy.
Okay. Now, you two ladies have a definitely ambitious show going on.
We sure do.
Ambitious.
We sure do.
I took that word
what
out
I
of
really love about Michelle is that she directs for both TV and like film and theater. And so I really wanted to challenge myself again, because I obviously like technology. I'm not afraid of technology. I really wanted to lean into that because it's really hard to recreate a theatrical experience on screen, right? Even the best performances from like the National Theatre of London, like you watch it in the movie theater and it's like, not really the experience. So I wanted to create a hybrid, and you know, it was a big challenge, but hopefully it worked. You know, I don't know.
Okay. Can you tell us about the characters that you play?
I play a character, Viviana, and she's the one that you follow in real time, who's going through the quarantine. And then I play a version of a Latina mother. I play a kind of sex therapist researcher. I play a friend. And then I play this kind of version that is Viviana, but it's her higher consciousness that is reflecting, who's doing the reflecting in real time in communion with the audience. So she talks direct to camera.
Okay. We just happen to have a clip of this. Roll it, Tony.
Oh, nice.
For Mississippi. Fucking stupid piece of shit. You should be using this time to write your great American novel, but instead, you're wasting hours of your life with reality TV. Love Island, Indian matchmaking, Love is Blind, 90 Day Fiancé, and The Bachelorette. I know, it's trash, but I would give anything to crawl into that screen and trade places with all those stupid, ungrateful hoes who can't appreciate what they have. Touching and kissing.
Nothing like a little B-roll. That's what that was. But could you tell us what was that? Now, that's you in that picture, right?
I couldn't see what was playing. So
okay. You went
I don't know
bed.
what you showed.
A lady was in bed and she woke up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, okay. And she started messing with her hair and doing all kind of crazy things.
Okay, great. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a little bit different because of time. This is a play on the screen. Can you tell us how that came up? We talked about we know about the technology. Tell us about that, please.
Well, like I said, we had our whole season planned for IAMA, and COVID made that impossible. So we still wanted to have a season. And, you know, IAMA hasn't really done any solo shows on the stage because we have a big membership that we try to use. And so this was just a really great opportunity for us to experiment and do something. What I really love is that with virtual screenings, you don't have to be in LA to see our show. So, you know, my mom's in North Carolina, my brother's in Switzerland. They can watch my performance, which is really special because oftentimes they don't get to see the work that I do.
And when they do, they're proud of that lady. They're proud of her.
I'm sure they're proud, yeah.
Indeed. How can we get some tickets, please?
Go to iamatheater.com. They have tickets. You can buy the doubleheader and watch Sheila and I's show together because they're in rep. And, you know, support the art.
All right. And the show opens what, March 21st?
Yep. It'll start streaming. April 18th. So it'll stream for 4 weeks. You can buy your ticket and it gives you access to screen it anytime during that week. So you don't have to like be Wednesday at 8 o'clock, you know, you can watch it on your time.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Anna Lamadrid, thank you so much for being here today. And thank publicist Lucy Pollock. She was good enough. She always brings the best to us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Nice meeting you.
Bye. Nice to meet you. Bye.
Okay. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. And if you have a product, a service, or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please call 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very affordable. We thank you. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it.
Now, are you giving these nice young women some trouble?
Hello?
Well. Looks like what you gals have here is a triple tray jam. Lucky I was walking by, huh?
Yeah, super lucky.
You know, the copier and I, we've really been through a lot together. We've really had our ups and downs.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is also a performer and a writer. Originally, she's from Chicago South Side. Now, she went to NYU, yes. She went to Harvard, yes. She's also Chilean, let me see if I say this right, Mapuche, and she's half that and half white American, okay? She has performed at the American Repertory Theater, the Moscow Art Theater, just to name a few. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sheila Carrasco. Sheila, greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Actor's Choice.
Hi there. It's so wonderful to be here. Thanks for having me.
All right. That, by the way, tell people that was a video we just saw. It's a sketch comedy. Please tell people what we just saw.
You know, I'm trying to remember. It was part of a festival for Native American female comedy sketch comedians.
Yes.
And it was a sketch about a woman that was in a relationship with the office printer. And I was trying to keep all the other women away and, you know, going through all those motions.
You do good work. You do good work. No problem.
Thank you so much.
No problem at all. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to talk about your acting work, and then we're going to talk about your other stuff, okay? The year was 1993. You got your first IMDb actor's credit for a well-known crime thriller called The Untouchables. Remember that?
I do. That was a small part in, I believe, an arc about a serial killer that was killing children.
Okay.
And they actually named the part after me, Sheila, which was very nice. And yeah, that was my very first professional job on TV back in Chicago.
Wow. You've come a long way from there, my dear. A whole lot of auditions. You're up to now 40 actors credits now?
That's right.
Yeah, you've come a long way. All those auditions that you had to go through. Oh,
yeah.
Amazing.
Really, truly. And, you know, they've kind of, I feel like it's like a snowball where it's just kind of collecting more and more. It's really grown exponentially. I mean, 5 years ago, 8 years ago, I probably had a handful. And it took a long time to get to the place where people knew me and started calling me in more and more. So it just takes a little time. But
yes, it does. But but ladies and gentlemen like yourself, I call you dedicated. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Right.
God bless you. Fast forward to the year 2012, you did a mini-series comedy called The Beauty Inside. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that was directed by Drake Doremus, who's a wonderful director, and I had a really fun part in that. I think I did the same scene as a Victoria's Secret supermodel at the time.
Yes.
And being like, what? Why am I here?
You're here to do a job. You had
That's
5
right.
episodes. You played the girl from the bar.
That's right, I did.
Yeah. IMDb does that all the time. I love the way they keep track of that stuff.
I know.
But now I got a question which I find very interesting. You have accumulated 40 actors credits so far. I mean, because we know there's coming more. Not bad. While going through your IMDb resume, I noted that you do TV series. A lot of them. In fact, you had 21 out of the 40. They were TV series. Please explain.
I think I'm just I find comedy shows on TV really appealing, and that's what I want to do.
Gotcha.
My dream is to be on a show like The Office, where it's an ensemble-based comedy,
Yes.
and having like a couple lines an episode, and just having a really strong point of view, so that whatever I say, my character, it just like gets in there with the joke, But otherwise, it's about the ensemble and the group and making each other laugh.
Gotcha.
So, as a result, a lot of my roles in more recent years has been more a TV series, because I think that's really what I'm trying to do. And as an actor, trying to build a career, you're really trying to focus in on the one thing you really shine at. And so throughout my career, I've slowly started focusing in on what really compels me.
Gotcha. I've seen a lot of actors and actresses do that. What they're doing, basically, they have to make a living. So they do the TV series, you make a living, but you can also do other things on the side, like a stage play or something like that.
That's right.
That's real good. A lot of people do that. Yes, and true. I also noted that you have a sister who's an officer in the United States Air Force. You also have a brother, also an officer in the United States Marine Corps. Please thank them both for me for their service to this country.
Thank you. I will.
Yeah. When you say the military, I was in the Navy for over 20 years myself.
Oh, you were? Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Thank you. When I saw it, I went, we got to say something about that. Definitely got to say something.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very proud of them. Very.
Yeah, indeed. Moving right along, you are the creator of Moss Mejor, Broadway videos, premier comedy studio for Latinx voices. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm one of the many creators for them. It's an awesome production company started by Lorne Michaels, the guy who runs SNL. And he created this branch within Broadway Video, his production company, really to promote and empower Latinx comedy voices. So a lot of amazing new stars have come out of there, and they've just been very supportive. I really want to go back to actually making more videos with them. But it was a wonderful opportunity. So
right.
Yeah.
I call it giving it back. You made it all this way. You're giving it back to other people. That's great.
Absolutely.
That's great. Keep it up, please. Please. You also performed and wrote in the 2018 CBS Diversity Showcase. Tell us about that one, please.
That was a wonderful experience. I learned so much. CBS every year does a showcase with up and coming performers who also write for themselves. So I wrote all the sketches that I was in for myself and had a great showing, and then went to JFL later that year because the casting director came to that showcase. And then the next year I came back and served as head writer for the first ever staff writers room, and ran the room to help the other performers coming up the following year to give them a voice and help them write their sketches.
As I say, a line on a resume, and that's a very good looking line on your resume, lady. It looks very good. Very good. Writing and performing. Tell us about how you feel in front of an audience when you're up there on that stage. Oh,
it's the best feeling. It really is the best feeling. I cannot wait to get back to live theater. It's for everyone that is an actor, you get it. And I would imagine if you play sports, you probably also get it. It's the same feeling when you're up to bat and you're just like, let me just take the stage. And I really miss live theater, and I think that what I really want to do is on the stage. I mean, I love acting for film, but there's something about that, like being in the moment and having an experience, a shared experience with everyone watching, where you're only going to see something happen one time, and it's never going to be the same thing ever again. So it's just very special and communal.
Yes. As I was telling Miss Melandro before, just a moment ago, the other guest, I have a bone to pick with some actors and actresses. I know a lot of them, you do too. They'll do that film, they'll do that television, but they won't get up on that stage.
Really?
Yes, they will not do it.
That's so interesting. For me, it's the reverse. Like, it took me a while doing on-camera work to really relax and find my legs, and I think it's because all of a sudden it made me self-conscious.
Yes.
To feel like, well, but there's something watching me, there's a camera and it's capturing everything, and it's like, how is that any different from being on stage? But there's something about being on stage where you just feel protected.
Yeah.
feel safe.
Yes. Now, we've been talking here for a moment or two, and we've been talking about you as an actor, but let's see Sheila Carrasco in action as Rita Juarez. Roll it, Tony.
For those of you who don't know me, my name's Rita Juarez, better known to all you jazz cats as Hazy Ree, also known as the Screaming Riri's, Sticky Hips Dupree, and the Kansas City Fifth Straddler. You might remember my hit in 52. Si no me besa, yo voy a morir. Come on, dámelo, dámelo, take a little till to get that bacon.
All right, so them shoulders there. Go ahead. Very nice. Very nice.
Get that bacon.
Let's see. You also had another character, Alicia Keys. Roll it, Tony.
Te quedarás por siempre.
Is that it?
That's not me. You know, that's another Sheila Carrasco. You would be I'm surprised. There's a lot of Sheila Carrascos out there.
Get back.
You know, I don't know what it is about the name Sheila. Everybody wants it.
Wow.
She looks like me though.
She's pretty, like you.
She is. She's
I saw the look on your face. You went,
let's just say that is me, and I'll take all the credit.
Okay, take that credit. Give credit where credit is due. How many characters can you do?
Well, I think it's just always going to be a number that escalates, I hope. I always like to create new characters, and I have a ton of original characters. I do them more than I do impressions, so to me, it's limitless. But let's just say I own 46 wigs that I have out in trunks and back. That's how much I like doing characters.
Wow. You ready for number 47 wig?
I am. I dream about it. It's my favorite thing to go to a wig store.
Wow.
And I can't wait to go back.
Okay. Who's your favorite character?
I have a lot. There's a character named Allie that I do who's obsessed with the movie A League of Their Own. And she is a little awkward, so the best way she can connect with other women is to quote the movie and sing the song and just bring up the movie because she loves it so much. And it's a little weird, but it's a really fun character because she really leads with her heart, and she really just wants a friend.
Gotcha.
So it's a fun character to play.
Gotcha. And of course, you're looking out for some new characters, of course.
Yeah.
Always, yes. What is it like, Sheila, to be multi-talented? I mean, you can walk into a place, be an actress, walk into another place, you're a performer. Marvelous.
That's a very nice question. Sometimes, well, it's great now that I know how to use all of it together. Know how to bring my writing and my performing together, and even directing myself at times. Not for this play. I had a wonderful director for that, Margot Susie. But for a long time, it was really hard because I didn't know which path to follow. So it's like you just want all your fingers in all the pies. And sometimes it's hard to feel progress because, you know how they say, pick a lane and go with it? I didn't really want to do that. And now looking back in hindsight, I'm really glad I didn't, because by being able to do various things, you know, I've done set design, I've done all the kinds of things you do in a theater, and it's all helped me create my own work, which I do think you kind of have to be a jack of all trades in order to do solo show work.
Got you.
And write for yourself.
Got you. No question. Your family and friends, they're very proud of you. No question.
I think they are.
Gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a big family, and they're living for these interviews right now for the show. It's my parents' favorite thing.
Excellent.
Shout out to Oscar and Joyce if you're listening.
Got you. What do you do when you're not performing?
Thinking about the next thing I want to perform and writing it.
I should have known.
Yeah. But also, also I'm really good at relaxing. I'm probably
Okay.
too good at just chilling at home and watching TV.
Right.
I have to remind myself to do like day-to-day adult things.
Yes.
To be a functioning adult, because all I want to do is like create.
Got you. Did you see the Grammys last night?
I watched clips. I didn't really. I'm not a big live TV watcher. We don't have it, so I always watch things the next day. You know, was it good?
Yeah. I had its ups and downs. There was some scenes in there, a little hot. Little hot stuff in there. You know, oh boy. What have we come to? Sometimes some people say that. This is 2021.
Yeah.
Time change.
Hopefully they'll be saying that about my show.
Indeed, indeed. Also understand that the Oscar noms came out today.
That's right.
Did you see it?
I did, and I actually have to say I'm generally happy. How about you?
I'm very happy.
Yeah.
It's good to see diversity. It's good to see a lot of things happen. I mean, they have an Asian director. She's done well. She's won everything, Golden Globes and Critics' Choice, all the good stuff. It's good to see that. That's what we call moving ahead, to give people a chance.
Yes, and I'm really excited by her work too, because from what it sounds like as a director, she's really kind of inventing a certain approach. Yeah.
Okay. Sheila Carrasco, let me say one word and tell us what it means to you.
Okay.
I am
community. It's a wonderful, it's an amazing theater community.
Wow. It's an interesting name. I am I'm an actor. I love it.
Absolutely. I like it too, because it creates ownership, which also means that pretty much anyone who says it or comes and sees a show is also part of the family and also is a part of the community there.
Yes.
It's an incredible theater company of doers and not just talkers. Just the fact that we've created a whole season of virtual solo work in a time where we could have just sat back and saved our money and not done anything, I think is pretty awesome. But on top of that, I think the work is phenomenal. The other solo shows this year blow me away. So I'm really, really proud to be a part of it.
Got you. I see you have a show called Anyone But Me, premiering virtually on March 21st. Please roll it, Tony. Roll it, sir.
Oh! Yes. Yeah, I did. Hi, Mom. I got it. The promotion. Yeah. Yes, I'll still be working for the same company, but I'll be in a much better department. I'll be on the 8th floor. Yes, at the same company, but I'm moving up the ladder.
Wow, we call that B-roll. Look, you look great. You look great. Oh, wow. Tell us what's that scene telling us right now?
So that's one character. Her name is Emily.
Okay.
And she is, depending on who she's talking to, she's kind of a different person.
Okay.
In this moment, she is just herself. She finds out she gets a job that she's up for. She gets a big promotion. So she calls her mom. And when she calls her mom, what happens later is pretty funny, because she tells her mom all this great news. And then her mom doesn't even know which child she is. She comes from a big family. So it kind of shows you a little inside look at why she's so insecure and doesn't even know who she is, you know? The show itself. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Can you give us a synopsis of the whole project?
Absolutely.
Yes.
The show is, since I'm a character comedian, I decided to do a solo show that was a myriad of characters. And they're all connected with a singular theme, which is about self-identity. And it's about the labels we give ourselves, like how we identify. And it's about women who have trouble doing that. Women who struggle with their own identity for whatever reason. And they come from all walks of life. And I really tried to supply like a range of point of views But it's really looking into the why behind each woman, why they have trouble with who they are, accepting who they are, and then also proclaiming who they are and finding their voice in whatever space they live in. So yeah, it's an exploration of that. I hope that people watching it can find answers for themselves. And for me, it's my own answer to the question of my own struggles with different identities that I've worn and how I identify. So they're also very connected to me in some way, even though they might seem very different from me. There's little parts of me in each of them.
Right. As you're talking, I'm saying to myself, this is why people go to the theater. This is why. To see these kind of performances.
So I really do. It's really neat to be able to film a theater piece because
Right.
you get to we produced the whole show as if it was a theater piece with a
Right.
sound designer, lighting designer. We had a tech week and everything, and then we just filmed it all on one day, and I just did
Right.
the whole show back to back.
Where the Pico
No audience.
Playhouse. The
At the
Pico
Pico
Playhouse.
Playhouse.
Yes.
That's right. And so, I definitely miss live theater, but it's pretty cool to be able to make something that I can keep forever. And at the same time, I've done a lot of comedy videos. I've done a lot of sketch comedy. I've done a lot of standalone characters.
Yes.
And this was the first time I wrote with theater in mind, which means, there needs to be a message and there needs to be a theme, which, in sketch comedy, you don't really have to worry about.
Yes.
So it was definitely a challenge for me, but a really fun one because I got to write from a place of, well, what am I saying here? And I don't want to tell the audience how to feel. That's not my job, but I do want them to think about things. And
Okay.
what do I want them to think about?
Okay. I understand there's a little bit of you in each one of those characters.
That's right.
Tell us about it.
Yeah. So whether it be certain details about each character's life or a certain situation that they've been in, there's definitely me in all of them. I try to write from what I know. And so even a character, I have a character that is pretty out of the box.
Okay.
And might seem a little crazy, but hey, that's part of me.
That's right.
So for her, she's more like subconscious from the inside of what's going on in my mind.
Gotcha.
Then I've got another character that just has details that, people in my family identify with, stories about my grandfather, things like that. So
Gotcha.
little bits of me.
I teach several classes over at Santa Monica College, and we talk about people. People have a public side, a private side, and a one side, and the other one's a secret. They don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting that way. We're human beings,
Absolutely. And that's natural. I think it's really hard to say, that you going into every space need to know who you are and what your voice is and have a formed opinion.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. And that's something I think everyone can relate to. I think what the struggle is when we're kind of, in terms of identity, when we kind of start to lie to ourselves, when we maybe have created a persona that we think we're supposed to have and label ourselves, well, I'm this kind of, I'm a stoic person because that's how my family is and everything rolls off my back and I'm tough.
Yes.
I don't cry kind of thing. Well, later on in life, you're really going to pay for that.
That's right.
Attitude because you have to process your emotions and things like that. So I think it's just about that gray area, that fine line when you start to cross into self-delusion and start to think that you're something you're not.
Right. I have an expression that I use. It's called the 3 E's: education, exposure, and experience. You have now got experience. You said this was your first play. That's in the can. Now you go get your second play.
That's true. As soon as we finished this one, I was like, I want to write another.
Yes,
and then I slept for 3 weeks. So can't do it.
Indeed.
But that's the plan.
How can we get tickets?
You can get tickets by going to the theater's website, iamatheater.com.
Okay.
That's AMA theater with an RE, not an ER.com. And then what you do is you basically buy a ticket for a week, some week in the next 4 weeks. You have a link to see the show. You have that entire week to watch the show at any time that you want, but you have 48 hours from the time you click play to finish watching it. And I hope when you watch mine, you could click play and it goes all the way through and you watch it to the end.
It's a $5 discount?
Yes.
Yes.
I believe so. If that's what they told you, then that's the deal.
It's for the Oxy Complex.
That's right. If you buy tickets to both shows, which you definitely should because Anna's amazing, then yeah, you get a discount.
Okay. Can you give us that website address again?
Absolutely. IAMATHEATRE.com.
Sheila, thank you so much. I want to thank your publicist, Lucy Pollock, of course. Always, yes. What a lady. But thank you very much for coming down here today. We really appreciate your presence, man. Keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And you as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Sheila Carrasco. Thanks for our sponsors, Harvey Brandman, Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin, Haiku, Style, Passion, Heart, Larry Buford's book, To the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. And much thanks to our guest today, performer, writer Anna Lamadrid, and performer, writer Sheila Carrasco. And of course, special thanks to our ever-growing audience. Be well. We'll see you next time.